Alright, so we are back at the end of another wonderful 8th raid season, and we got a bit of a dilemma here. Now, you may look at my score and think everything went hunky-dory. If we take a look here, we are top 1,000 pretty easy, and we also have -0 defense lift, and also, this is basically as high as I can score for Astra season. We had a perfect offense, given the amount of Mythic Hero merges that I've got on my offense teams, if we go ahead and take a look quickly. So yeah, I've got +7 on Thor, I've got +4 on Regan, and then I've got +4 on Plumeria. So I'm pretty sure this is my maximum score here. Now, the problem is this defense here. Even though it looks really good, right? You see all of these successes, you're thinking, oh wow, how can this possibly be bad? What's the problem here? Well, this defense, it may appear to be a good defense on paper, but it doesn't pass the Tacho quality standard for defense, unfortunate as that may be. My standard for defense is if I can beat it, it's not good enough. And that may be a very harsh way of grading things, like a very strict grading policy, but that's just how it is, right? Like, if I can beat it, it's not good enough. So, I don't care about any of these guys. If they weren't able to beat it, that doesn't mean anything, because they're just, like, they're probably not tryhards. They're probably just, like, casuals. Not really trying to play Fae, just trying to live their life. So, perfectly fine. I mean, that's the majority of people who play this game, as it may stand. But the problem really is that I have no way to improve this defense any further. It's, I think, at least in my opinion, it's probably as good as it can possibly get. But at the same time, it's not good enough. So, I don't know where to make any improvements. The slot that would be improved is the Carla slot. Now, prior to this, when I last showcased this defense, I had Ninja Lucina there, and the reason why is because if I don't run her, I don't have a duo hero for Duo's Hindrance. So, that was the idea behind Duo Lucina. And then on top of that, she's also a brave attacker, so she can probably do something. Unfortunately, that's not really good enough of a standard to run a unit for. Just to activate Duo's Hindrance, that's not really worth it. So, one of the units that you may remember was giving us a hard time last time was Ninja Saline, surprisingly, of like all people. So, it was Null Sea Echo, Ninja Saline with Miracle, and Close Bonus Doubler and Lagu's Friend. I don't know why that was the secret sauce that season, but apparently it was, and it was giving Laeradr defenses a hard time. So, in order to remedy that, I've gone ahead and added Carla to this defense. I've got Potent on her, I've got Excel, and then I also have Breath of Life 4. Pretty good fodder. So she is definitely going to stomp any Salines we run into. Carla is able to nullify specials that are non-damage based. So Pavis, Aegis, Miracle are not going to trigger against Carla. And if she hits a Ninja Saline with Miracle, it's probably going to be lights out. So that's the reasoning for going for Carla. But that opened up another problem for the defense here, which is now my only offensive units happen to be melee types. So we have Emblem Sigurd here, who is, of course, our main attacker. He's a melee type. And now Carla, replacing Ninja Lucina, gives us a second melee type. So we're not really making the most out of this guy having assigned decoy now. He's going to go ahead and assign decoy to 2 types of units, range of 1 and range of 2, but we're not really taking advantage of the range of 2 assigned decoy here, because we don't have a ranged attacker, which is one of the issues I have with Carla. Unfortunately, though, there's not really a solid replacement for her that also is a duo hero. Like, we can go ahead and take a look. I mentioned this in another video that there's not really a good defensive duo hero right now, and like, that is just so true. I can't think of anything. We're not running any of these top 4, obviously. Okay, so down here, maybe you might want to say Nagi is possible. Let's see, what else we got? Fiorm, maybe. Oh, this is an interesting unit, actually, the Winter Alir. I was thinking about them for a moment, but we'll explain that when we get to it. And then, I guess, like, Baby Robin was a possibility. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else. And then, of course, Ninja Lucina, who we had already, but she didn't work out, so we took her off. So these are, like, the 4 possible suspects. Nagi, of course, we can't really run her, or Fiorm either, for that matter, because both of these would be save units, and if we go ahead and take a look at the save units we've got here, we have Attuned Hector, who is going to be our Far Saver, And then we have Laeradr, who's going to be our near saver. Now, in order for this guy to work as a near save, he has to have the stone tile support from Hector. So we can't just take off Hector for a different far save. Otherwise, this guy is going to be way too weak against AoE Felix and AoE Emblem Sigurd. So we need to run Hector specifically, and we have to run Laeradr specifically. The reason why it's got to be him as a save unit is because he's limiting the enemies with his assigned decoy and his flash debuff. So it's got to be him. It's got to be him. It's got to be Sigurd. Like, Sigurd is probably just overall the best initiator for most situations. There's only a handful of units that can really beat him. We got to run King Freyr because he's got the penalty cleansing, and then we got to run Haythrun because she's got Divine Nectar, and she also enables the rally trap with Sigurd. So we have a situation here where all of these units are necessary except one, and there's no replacement anywhere. So yeah, I don't know. I'm completely stumped on how to improve the defense at this point. So the 2 saves are out of it. Alir could be interesting. He would be a possible replacement for Carla, but he's another melee attacker. He's not really a ranged attacker like I want, but some benefits we would get from running him is that he can run he can run Kanto Curb, and then he can also run High Dragon Wall. So potentially we could take off Gatekeeper and then just run this guy, and then he's giving his divinely inspiring support. That could be something, but then like, who do we swap out Gatekeeper for? I'm not really sure. Maybe Emblem Lyn, actually. Hold on. Let me take a look at reach here. So Lyn can attack from 6 spaces. So she would actually reach this spot here, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Maybe that's what we got to do. Maybe just, like, take off Gatekeeper. By the way, I have Sly Mirror on him because it came with Kanto Curb. So the idea next season that I'm going to do is give this guy Lyn's Ring and then give him Ether so he could, like, actually hurt stuff. I've had a defense before where the enemies lost a unit to Gatekeeper because Laeradr assigned a decoy on a unit that they didn't want to get hit with, and then Gatekeeper just sniped them and got the KO. So, like, just running more offense on him, giving Aether to raise the power of Lyn's Ring damage, I think is good. And then, of course, Sly Mirror is his best DPS A skill at the moment. So, yeah, Gatekeeper can just randomly snipe stuff, apparently. But, yeah, maybe that would be the idea here. Just get rid of Carla, put in the Winter Alir, and then replace Gatekeeper with Emblem Lyn. So that gives us a duo hero, and then that gives us also a ranged attacker. But if I were to run Emblem Lyn, I'd probably want her in that spot so she could just, like, cover the entire bottom. Just, like, make the absolute most out of her 6 range. So, yeah, man. Also, the amount of fodder that would take to get Kanto Curb on him and High Dragon Wall, like, that's a tall ask. So it's really inefficient to build these defenses now. It just takes, like, so much fodder just to keep up. And even then, like, your defense is not going to be good enough. So, I don't know, man. Take it from a defense expert. Defense is just dead. It's a lost cause. So now that I've gone ahead and ranted, we can go ahead and take a look at all these wins here. I think we do have 1 loss, though. Yeah, we have 1 loss. But we're going to go ahead and start with all the wins. All right, so we'll also go ahead and turn off the animations so we can just speed through this. All right, we have Emblem Sigurd with Ike Ring. Interesting. I wouldn't go for Ike Ring on him. I'd go for Marth Ring. Or Celica Ring, I guess. All right, Asker support, Halloween Asker. We got Ninja Lucina. We have also Mythic Ectordeer. We've got Mythic Needhogger. And then we have Brave Alphonse. Interesting. Okay, so he's only running 2 offensive Mythic heroes. That's kind of weird. In order to get max score, you got to run 3. So, I don't know. Maybe he's just trying to, like, take it easy or something. Just, like, try to win easily. We also have to run the Catapult, by the way. I didn't mention this, but 2 turns of a safety fence is just way too broken. I don't even know why they allowed that. Like, that was one of the dumbest things they ever did. Making this 2 turns. So, it doesn't even matter where you put your Catapult. You just better run it on defense. Just absolutely have it, because even if it's a 1 in 6 chance that you break their fence, it's still worth it. It's better than a 0 in 6 chance. So I'm just slapping the Catapult on every single defense I've got from now on. All right, let's see what this guy is going to go for. Seems like he's going to try to player phase us, but to tell you the truth, player phasing is not an issue for this defense. The only time this has lost is against bait strategies, which is funny because Laeradr was advertised as the end of baiting, right? Like, that's how people were hyping him up. But he's not actually the end of baiting. He just... What he really does is focuses what units you can bait down to a limit of 3. So pretty much the only bait units that work against Laeradr are the attuned ones. So attuned Temera, attuned Sheeta, and attuned Erica. Those are really your only 3 options because they've got access to preference skills, and they can also go ahead and run Null Sea Echo to deal with the guy's flash. So yeah, those are really the only options, but man, he's having a really hard time breaking through here. As you can see, if you want to say he's running suboptimal offenses, that's not really the case. He's getting DR cut from Asker. He's getting also Resonant Blades, Resonant Shields. He's got Lucina support. He's got Sigurd, probably the best initiator for melee, and completely helpless against these save armors. So, by the way, I'm not even running Shield Fighter either. These are just like Armored Blaze with Twin Near Save and Twin Far Save here. So, not even as optimal as, or optimized as these save units could be, and there's still just unbreakable walls here. Alright, so now it's our turn to go on the offensive. We're going to get our Rally Trap off here with Sigurd, and then we're probably just going to go ahead and get a bunch of cheeky KOs right now. Yeah, so Sigurd's able to take out Ector there. We're getting a bunch of healing, and then we're going to go after somebody else. Looks like Lucina there. Alright, sure. And then our Bunny Carla is going to come in with the Celica Ring and get her attack off on Asker. And that's pretty much it. Like, we don't really need to watch the rest of this. Yeah, he's not going to be able to kill her. He's really just there for the penalty cleansing. Okay, so here's another one. Let's take a look. Alright, so we got Winter Allure over here. We have Mythic Veil. We've got Summer Gulveig. Very powerful player. I still think she's the best player phase unit for Aether Raid's offense. Like, having 4 actions is just complete comedy, man. Alright, also Duo Robin. We have Brave Alphonse. And then we have Ratatosker. Okay. Okay, I don't even know what this guy is thinking. Yeah, even he doesn't know what he's thinking. He just surrendered. Yeah, that was a weird one. Okay, here's one. Kieran. Let's take a look. So we have Needhogger there. Needhogger is a pretty good one. I'm sure the New Year one is going to be more effective than the Mythic one, of course, because you're actually going to be able to bless that one. So that means a boatload of stats. We got Hater over here. You don't really see Hater too often anymore. Fallen Lumera. Halloween Knot, pretty solid save unit. Alright, then we have Attuned Micaiah and then also Satyr. Now, he's trying to end my action on Sigurd, which was a possible weakness of the defense until I added Gatekeeper with Cancel Curb. So now that's no longer a weakness. Yeah, Cancel Curb, man, so powerful. Alright, so we come in with Sigurd. We go ahead and attack his Micaiah here. Alright, but Na is able to save against our Sigurd, but we didn't die, so then we're going to get our extra action, and we can go after somebody else. This is one of the reasons why it's so important that we run Sigurd there, because his 5 reach of movement is just too much. And then he gets the Gale Force after his first attack. So he's pretty easy to sweep stuff with. Alright, Carla not really doing anything. I don't think we need to watch the rest of this, because he surrendered after he lost 1 unit. Alright, here's another one. Ooh, Elamine. Interesting. You don't really see Elamine anymore. I mean, mainly because King Freyr. The only reason people ran Elamine at all at some point was to deal with Brave Robin's ice tiles. But King Freyr stops that anyway, so it's pointless. Alright, then we got Plumero. We've got Brave Felix with Gale Force. Not a good idea against this, because, like, without a DPS special, he can't break anything. Alright, then we have Needhogger, Emblem Sigurd, and Duo Peony. Okay, so here comes Felix attacking against Laeradr, doing absolutely nothing. Getting completely annihilated in the process, too. So it doesn't matter if he's got like a million actions, if he's got Gale Force. Who cares? If he can't beat Laeradr, then he's not doing nothing. Okay, so where were we? That was Kieran, so we have, or that was Juan, I think, or Vaughn, whatever, however you say that. Okay, so we have Hang up next. All right, so a Fallen Lumera. We got a Winter Ectordeer. We have a Satyr. Once again, Kanto Curb just stops her cold. We got Plumeria. We've got Emblem Sigurd. And then we have Brave Alphonse. Interesting. Okay. All right, so Sigurd comes in, and he is unable to do anything. As I've said before, once this guy has Stone Tile support, it's no longer feasible to really beat him with near-attacking units. So, yeah, that's why it's got to be Hector as the far save, because he's giving that support for Laeradr to just be as badass as he can. All right, so we go ahead and take out a unit right there. We're probably going to take out someone else because this guy gets a Gale Force. Oh my god, these offensive units are so silly now. All right, we can stop there. We can put this guy out of his misery. We don't need to watch the rest. Okay, so here is the loss. The only loss of the season, but we had lift loss control up, so that's good. He also rematched me, which means I probably beat him in an... They only rematch when I beat them in, like, embarrassing ways. So he probably got embarrassed and then had to, like, rematch. I don't care, though. Like, if you embarrass my defense, I'm not about to rematch you, because here's a little pro tip. A wise man once said, I don't pick fights I can't win. Mr. Ephraim himself. That's some pretty legit advice. Don't get tilted if you see somebody beat your defense in style, or they're like teabagging and like breaking all the structures. Who the hell cares at the end of the day, right? Like, if someone is able to beat your defense and you have a pretty confidently built defense, probably not a good idea to challenge them to a fight. Pride be damned. Like, pride is a weakness. Pride is an exploitable weakness. Don't let your pride get the best of you. Just take the L and move on. So, there's my little bit of pro advice for y'all. Alright, so he's got Gatekeeper, he's got Tamara, of course, like I said, Tamara and Sheeta and also Erica are like the only 3 units that can really bait this defense. Alright, then we have Micaiah, we've got Lumera, we have Plumeria, and then we have Needhogger. Okay. Alright, Gatekeeper obviously very good here, because he's going to be able to get his Warp Bubble off. I don't know if we sniped anything important there, but... Okay, sure. So here we go. We're coming in. Obviously, his unit with the lowest defense here was Tamara. I believe his Gatekeeper has more defense. Actually, no, that's not the case. Who ended up getting hit by... what you call it there? Where is the target of... Oh, interesting. This Lumera over here got hit by a Sign Decoy. That's kind of interesting. Huh. Well, I guess it's because she's got lower defense. So, the nearest foe from Laeradr would have been Micaiah. So, the other targets possibly would have been Tamara and Lumera. And I guess Tamara's got better defense. So, Lumera was the one who got hit by the Assigned Decoy that time. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to counterplay against Laeradr's Assigned Decoy. I've said this basically every video where I've showcased this defense. Alright, there's probably... With Sigurd dying, there's probably not much we can do here. Yeah, and then Carla just gets player phase just like that. So, yeah, probably not much in continuing this. It would be a good time to have the Lin Ring on Gatekeeper, though, because he'd be able to attack Micaiah. I don't know if he'd be able to kill her, but he might be. I don't know. Like that's a tough one, but he might at least be able to do a little bit of damage to her. So another instance where having Lin's Ring might be helpful on him. All right, we have Nick up next. This guy lost 4 units. All right, so we have Felix, actually with a AoE special, but Phantom Speed on a Blazing Wind build. I don't know if that's what you want to go for. All right, then we got Sigurd, of course. We have Needhogger, very popular for some reason. We've seen her on damn near every team. I guess maybe she's a bonus. That's why. All right, then we got Regan, Alphonse, and also Plumeria. All right, so I guess he's going to just try to save bait us here with his Needhogger. Probably not going to go too well. All right, so we get our rally off with Sigurd. We go for the attack. Unfortunately, no one else was in range for the AoE, so we're not going to get the Gale Force there. And then we just throw Freyr all the way in his face. Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't know Freyr could tank Alphonse like that. Okay, not after 2 hits. And then he's got 2 stacks of great talent now. So Alphonse looking a little scary, I guess. All right, there we go with the rally, but we weren't in range of Haethrun to get the extra action that time. But Carla gets her KO with assigned decoy help. All right, we don't really need to watch the rest of this. It seems pretty obvious how this is going to go. We've already, like, Sigurd on my next turn is going to just be open to take out those 2. All right, so we have Dia, another guy who rematched us. Wow, we've seen Felix and Sigurd on damn near all of these teams, haven't we? But player phasing, like I said, player phasing doesn't really beat this defense because the save units are just too solid. So even if you've got AoE Felix, if you've got AoE Sigurd, doesn't really matter. So, yeah, all you got to really do is just try to bait it with some kind of attuned hero that's got Null Sea Echo. All right, then he's also got Winter Ectordeer. He's got Mythic Satyr, Plumeria, and Emblem. All right, that's an interesting approach here. I don't know what he's going for, actually. What is he doing? He's got a player phase team, and he just, like, tossed all of his units in harm's way. A really strange way to approach this, but okay. All right, so Sigurd gets a hit on Felix, who got hit by assigned decoy there. And then we get our bonus action. We're going after Ectordeer. And I'm pretty sure Carla's going to take somebody out. Oh, and even King Freyr can take somebody out. That's pretty good. Yeah, and then Ike getting his, like, just getting rocked in the face by Carla there. I didn't think she was going to do that much damage to him, honestly. That's kind of interesting. She could have just attacked Satyr for the KO, but I guess why attack Satyr when you could just attack Ike, right? All right, so there we go. We can end that one. And then we got 2 more to go. So Blunt Gang. Obviously a play on Blunt Gang. All right, Needhogger once again for the millionth time. Oh, this is an interesting Nina. Look at this. So we got here Lookout Force, we've got Assassin Strike and Sly Swift Sparrow, and even Deathblow Echo on this Thief Nina here. Pretty fun unit back in the day, but I don't know about right now. Probably not so much right now. Alright, then we got Plumeria there. Very well-built Plumeria. We got also Bride Micaiah. One of the reasons why I feel like Duo's Hindrance just has to be there. If you run into a Duo skill like this, it's probably going to be a rough time for your armored units to tank. Alright, then we also have Lucina, and we have Alphonse. Okay. So swaps first with Lucina to get buffs. Get some debuffs there with Needhogger. Go for a dance. I guess he's going to try to bait us with Needhogger, but that's probably not going to go too well. Okay, so Sigurd rallies. He comes in. Gets his attack off. Okay, then he gets his Gale Force so he can attack somebody else. Let's see who he's going after. Okay, Micaiah, which is good because we can go ahead and take out Alphonse there. Alright, this one's pretty much over. And then our save units are all just balled up at the top there. So yeah, that one didn't go too well for Homeboy. And then finally we have SXC. Alright, so he's got the reinforcement slot there. I guess that's just for decoration. Oh, check this out. Okay, so we do have a supported Emblem Lyn. He's got Cordelia there for dual strike. He's got Emblem Lyn. Emblem Lyn, of course, when you support her properly, can probably just bust through these tanks. I'm pretty confident in that, but she would need miracle support to be able to do that. I'm not too sure if this type of support would work out. And then we are actually going to snipe his fence, which, like I said, the 1 in 6 chance with the catapult is better than a 0 in 6. So, yeah, from now on, I'm just running the catapult no matter what. All right, so let's see what Lyn is capable of. It looks like nothing, apparently. Even with dual strike, she's not able to bust through. Yeah. That's the thing about Lynn. She really needs a bunch of support. Not just dual strike or like triangle attack, but she also needs Miracle to live the counterattack. Because she's basically just a glass cannon. But as long as she's able to survive the counterattack, her being able to hit 5 times is enough to break through a lot of these units. So I wouldn't count Lynn out just because of this. But in this particular case, it didn't go too well for Lynn. So yeah, that's going to wrap us up for this round of defense. Like I said, there's seemingly not a lot of ways to really improve this defense, even though I don't think it's good enough. So I'm going to have to hop back to the old drawing board and see if I can figure something out. But if you guys have any suggestions, leave them in the comment section down below. Also, let me know how you guys have been faring on your defenses lately. So this is your boy Tacho signing out. Take care, fellas, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.